Hi, thank you for joining us on this cold autumnal night for a story so dark and eerie, played out through music and words. Tonight's story is based on real events, written into the lore of a small Sussex village over centuries. A story of murder and savagery, of sinister forces and maddening, ghostly apparitions. Join us, if you will, for a tale steeped in the old tradition. Secrets revealed as we delve into the haunted night. This is the Ghosts of Nantuck's Lane.
My and soul, never mind on what you carried out for, what you carried out for. We die alone, we're alone, now young. What you carried out for, what you carried out for. Smoke, listen on the mat, whiskey on the left. Shake it out, light a cigarette. Miss me when you wish you were right. Shake it all out and from around for you. Shake it all out when I'm gone. High for you. Is the devil so mad? Sin and sleep while the earth turns, and his kids learn to say fuck you. They don't love you. Cause the devil gets scared if she dies in her dreams while the earth burns. She cries cause she's nothing like you. Is she like you? What you want from a devil like me? Devil like me. See the devil on me. It's to accept
Today we'll tell you a story. Well, not one, nor two, but three. A tale of hidden secrets, human wickedness and misery. In a place of such ethereal beauty, evil descended as a full moon came. They only talk in whispers of what happened in the woods by Nantuck's Lane. It was written 3 times on a Sussex village. A madness would descend, and the weight of their guilty conscience would be hard to comprehend. Only when a full moon came on Samhain, and its light hit the woodland altar would it come to be. The years were 1606, 1807, and All Hallows Eve in 2020.
The pay of the sins that took place outside the village in Tuck's Wood was that they would be forever haunted by those who were dealt no good, and the locals who knew the secrets and others who heard the rumours knew they should never go down Nantuck's Lane, lest a haunting put a madness on you. That's why they called it Nantuck's Lane, to remind them of the terrible past. No one talked about the hauntings, but a place name it would last. They say at the place of the murders is an area where nothing grows. To this day lay a barren circle deep in the woods where nobody goes.
Why dost thou sit upon my grave and will dead lips to speak? Why dost thou weep upon my grave and will not let me sleep? my breast, it is as cold as clay. My breath is earthly strong, and if you kiss my cold clay lips, your days they won't be long. How oft on yonder grave, sweetheart, where we were wont to walk, the fairest flower that e'er I saw has withered to a stalk. When will we meet again, sweetheart? When will we meet again? When the autumn leaves that fall from trees are green and spring up again. How oft on yonder grave, sweetheart, where we were wont to walk, the fairest flower that e'er I saw has withered to a stalk.
We start our tale in 1606, just outside Buxted village in a shack, where lived a woman of simple mind, and education she did lack. She'd grown old among the trees, her few family had long passed away, but she understood life more than the villagers, who mocked her every day.
Voices come in the eye of the storm. I've had 16 years alone. Bullet in the barrel, but I wasn't armed. And Mama had the loaded gun. Mama had the loaded gun. I've got a tremble in my hand and hair of gray, clinging to the rusted vines, haunted by the memory of his dying day that echoes on the mountainside. It echoes on the mountainside. I wash my hands in muddy water, wash my hands in muddy water. Mama laid him down at the edge of the land, and his blood dwells under his shoes, crying for the wrath of my father's head, hoping that he bury me too, hoping that he bury me too. I wash my hands in muddy water, wash my hands in muddy water, wash my hands in muddy water, wash my hands in muddy water. I wash my hands in muddy water, wash my hands in muddy water, wash my hands in muddy water, wash my hands in muddy water.
Strange happenings in the village got the locals wandering and talking about the simple woodland woman who they sometimes saw out walking. Suspicious minds whispered tales of witchcraft in the woods at night. They say it was Nan, she's strange and odd, she clearly isn't right. Their fear and ignorance of difference reached a fevered pitch. They dragged poor Nan from her home and chanted in unison, "Burn the witch!" They took her to the River Uck and bound her hands and feet. Drowning would prove her innocence, survive, and a fiery end she would meet. Just as they were about to throw her in, from the ropes she struggled free. Nan ran from the baying crowd, and in the field she found some sanctuary. She'd heard of the church, how they would help a troubled soul in fear, but when she tried, the priest replied, "We won't have your witchcraft here." Priest gave chase with the baying mob. Nan hid deep in the woods she knew best. She used all her cunning to evade them, and she found a place to rest. Moonlight came through empty autumn branches to the leafy ground. It bounced off the jewellery round her neck, a silver coin so round. The priest did see the flash of light as it glinted in his eye. "String her up," the holy man cried. "Tonight Nan Tuck will die." Up went the rope over the bow, a lynching of a terrified woman they did see. On a cold blue Samhain night, Nan Tuck swung from the old yew tree. Right before the lynching, Nan bowed her head and whispered to the tree, incantations set free in the night, until from her body she was free. A curse on all you hear, I'll haunt you to your dying day. And stay well clear of Nantuck's lane, she quietly did say. A curse on all you hear. I'll haunt you to your dying day. And stay well clear of Nantuck's lane, she quietly did say.
skog. Han vill men kan inte sova. Hungern river hans varga buk och det är kallt i hans stova. Du varg, kom inte hit. Ungen min får du aldrig. Du varg, kom inte hit. Ungen min får du aldrig. Vargen ylar i nattens skog, ylar av hunger och klagan. Men jag ska ge en grisasvans, sånt passar i varje magar. Du varg, kom inte hit. Ungen min får du aldrig. Du varg, kom inte hit. Ungen min får du aldrig. Skog. Han vill men kan inte sova. Hungern river hans varga buk och det är kallt i hans stova. Du varg, kom inte hit. Ungen min får du aldrig. Du varg, kom inte hit. Ungen min får du aldrig.
brings us to 1807, approaching All Hallows Night. A full blue moon was forecast. 'Twould be a glorious sight. Old Nantuck had melted into lore along the passing years, but when they went down Nantuck's lane, still they got the fears. In the village lived a woman named Nancy, local outcast, born and bred, daughter of the Tuckers, farm hands with a hidden secret, it was said. The Tuckers found their treasure in a world that could be so plain. They named her from the wood she was born, alongside Nantuck's lane.
Are you going to Scarborough Fair? Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. Remember me to one who lives there, for she once was a true love of mine. Tell her to make me a cambric shirt, parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme, without any seams or needlework. Then she shall be a true love of mine. Tell her to find me an acre of land, parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme, between wild water and silvery sand. Then she shall be a true love of mine, of mine, of mine, of mine. Then she shall be a true love of mine. Going to Scarborough Fair, parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. Remember me to one who lives there. She once was a true love of mine.
The years went by, and Nan married Tom, who ran the village bakery. For many years the cutest couple that anyone ever did see. But in later years she would read at home while he went to the pub at night. Sometimes under drink he would beat her, then love's spell would feel like fright. She used to pick wild mushrooms in the woods off Nantuck's lane. To get out of the house was a blessing, To be in the woods just kept her sane. She delved into her deepest woodland, to under the ancient yew, and found the hidden circle. It was the place where nothing grew. Except this time were some mushrooms that looked like little keps, so plain to see, save for 3 little dots like the mark on her arm, so she picked them for Tom's tea. She put them in the stew, served to her husband 'fore he went to drink his brew. But Tom would be going nowhere. He gasped and choked to death on Nantuck's stew. As Tom lay slumped at the table, Nan panicked and ran into the wood. Soon they found Tom laying there. The villagers cried murder. We knew she was no good. He was a man of good standing, and she was born insane by her dad and mum. She must be an evil woman. Very soon her end will come.
I've seen what love looks like, I've seen its beauty when it's alive. I was roaming in its paradise, its gold, its blue, it's in the skies. But I am a witness to love's death. There's no blood, there's no body, there's nothing left. Oh my darling, don't you ever forget, I wasn't prepared for the end.
eventually caught up with her by the ancient yew tree. They beat her to the ground and laughed so callously. They strung her up like Nan before her over the bough of the yew, and they cheered as she gasped for breath. They watched her choke and turn a deathly blue. Before Nan finally passed, she spat out a final word or two. All they made out was, "My woods, madness, circle, death, and I'll haunt you." And they gave Tom a decent send-off. The pub was packed for his wake that night, while they left Nan strung from the yew, then buried what was left of her 'neath the hanging site.
No words were spoken of Nan, much like her namesake before, and all was very quiet. People wouldn't venture down the lane much anymore. Some who did came back different. For some time they couldn't speak of the horrors and the hauntings they saw down Nantuck's lane and in their sleep. There was a local rumour that the ghosts of both women were there. They had met in spirit in the woodland, and their grisly stories they did share. It seems they may have made a pact to be together on Nantuck's lane, and if anyone ever did meet them, their ghost would drive the trespasser insane.
Many could hear strange noises and cold spots on a summer's day, for some an eerie noise or feeling that made them stay away. Maybe running water where there was none, or a shadow moving quick. Sometimes a breeze that sounded like whispers, or a fog unusually thick. They left to those that showed them kindness and would let good people be, show respect for them and their place. They would always let you roam free, down the lane and amongst the trees that are touched by their fair hand, and even to the magical yew tree, surrounded by the circle of barren land. But when the Nans decided you were a bully or had a black soul, then you'd better stay away from the lane, or the sisters would take their toll. Those people would see their apparitions, from which they could not break free, until finally the woman decided it was time to let them be.
They'd show them all the horror they could muster and scare them half to death, and they would drive them further to insanity with each and every breath. They would return to the village or from wherever they had came, not saying a single word for weeks. The sisters had driven them insane.
200 years later, we find ourselves in 2020. Would this be the year the madness returns to Sussex County? A full moon on Halloween is due. Will it touch the woodland altar with its light? It was written 3 times the insanity would fire up the autumn night. The story of the Nans has been diluted by the rivers of time again, but many still don't like the feeling they get on a trip down Nantuck's Lane. Morphed into just one fable and eroded from memories now unclear. Perhaps the history suggests that 2020 might just be the year.
So this All Hallows Eve, who knows if the madness may occur once more. The sisters in the wood will be waiting, of that you can be sure. There's a tense feeling around as we reach autumn months this year. By those who know the stories of Nantuck, there is a certain fear. And if what was written in the stars is realised, this full moon Halloween, next time in another town or village, this awful story could be seen. So watch out around Samhain this year, if the full moon's light you can see. Not just if you're in a Sussex village, perhaps anywhere the madness might be. And if the Samhain moon shines on the barren circle round the ancient yew tree, you know that there will be trouble and a madness there will be. And of course take care if you venture down to Nantuck's lane, lest the madness is put upon you and it drives your mind insane.
Angel cried last night. It was something in her dreams, carving pictures on a bedroom wall. She wonders what it means, but gets by inside by saying it's not real. There's no reason to confuse myself, no matter what it seems. Angel lied last night to amputate her fears with no question. She excused herself from possibilities. Close your eyes, it's fine. By saying it's not real, there's no reason to forgive myself, no matter what it seems. And if I could grow some
thank you for joining us tonight for our story about Nantuck's Lane in Sussex County, and listening to the story unfold there. I hope you enjoyed it and you weren't too freaked out. I just wanted to say a huge, massive thank you to Tim and Ed, our narrators tonight, for doing such a magnificent job on retelling this story, and also to Scott for allowing me to use some of his artwork to bring life visually to the show as well. So thank you all very much. I really appreciate it. And if you want to listen to or hear any more about the show, then please go to www.stealingvictories.co.uk, and I've put the story up there. Obviously the set list as always, and a little more information, some links to the story of Nantuck's Lane and the ghosts there, the true story. So thank you again, and this is the Stealing Victories radio crew wishing you a blessed night this Samhain. Bye.